Hey, Pisces Cup Finals. Grade A Finals, in fact. Glad to be here, especially with the introduction of the new scenario Track Blazer, and obviously the absolute onslaught that was making new horses and adapting to an entirely new playstyle, entirely new decks, and an entirely new way of thinking to be able to make these horses here. Obviously, we have some stiff competition, but I brought along some pretty darn good horses. One of them, especially, having an insanely good record. I wonder who that might be, but we'll take a closer look at that here. Obviously, starting off, good old solid Narita Taishin. She's performed well in Champions meetings past. I believe she got second on Libra Cup finals, actually, to Gold Ship. And then she also got second in, I believe it was Sagittarius Cup as well, where I didn't make the final win, but at least she got second there. Maybe third time's the charm and she could actually win a Champions meeting for once. That'd be really, really nice. Obviously, I worked really, really hard on this one here. Was able to max out both speed and stamina. Obviously, I would have loved to have seen power be a little bit higher, as well as the wit, but was able to get long S, and I got pretty much all of these skills that you would really want on an end closer ace. Inherited New Year, TM Opera O's, Barcola, however you pronounce that, of Blessings. Got the double golden recovery, Sleeping Lion and Swinging Maestro, obviously. Was able to hit that Nimble Navigator and Umamusume as well for the other major increases in velocity and acceleration, as well as her innate Encroaching Shadow. She's actually done quite well for me here. If we take a quick look at the overall career record, she's sporting a win rate of 47.5%. I think that's probably the best out of all of the Umas that I've ever done. In top 3, 85%. She's done pretty well over her 80 races here. I'm pretty happy about that. And a little bit unorthodox with the build here. She was actually my first ace that I built for the Pisces Cup, so a little bit different of a deck here than you might have seen otherwise, but she did well. No career losses with that, and so pretty happy overall. Let's see if we can get her a first place win. Otherwise, always the eternal gold ship with these long CMs. I was able to hit pretty good stats with her. Obviously, she's a little bit dumb, but I mean, what gold ship isn't? Was able to actually get a decent amount of greens for her that seemed to actually kind of work a little bit. She's actually probably third, I believe, in overall win rate. She's only won a couple of times, but she's always very solid. Does pretty well. Nothing else much to say. I was able to chance getting Tamamo Cross off of just, I believe, one of the random free 10 pulls, so was actually pretty happy about that. Obviously, we got her pretty high up within that as well. She's actually done quite well for herself. She's gotten a pretty solid amount of wins, if I remember correctly. Yeah, she's not horrible, to say the least. She's made the podium a little under 50%, but she has a pretty decent win rate overall, and normally when she's second, she's actually second to my Narita Taishin, so pretty happy about that overall. Once again, with the standard skills, got that tail 9, was able to get in straight away, spurt, Umastan, all the fun stuff. Going a little bit different, I didn't get that second gold recovery, so just tried a couple of others. I'm not sure if that really made the difference in the end, but it is what it is. So, taking a quick look at our competition, we got some pretty solid looking Umas here. 1200, standard stuff. Only, okay, got that in just one white recovery. for Rose here. Another Naruto Taishin here. Pretty solid stuff. It's able to get Turf S, so that'll help boost the power a bit. Pretty solid overall. I am not seeing Umastan on this one, and I'm also not seeing Nimble Navigator either, which would definitely be two skills that I would want to bring to the fight, but is what it is. And then Kitasan Black. Everyone pulled for. I've seen a lot of her, but I've actually not seen too much of a winning record when I would lose to other Umas. It would usually just be other end closers, and not particularly Kitasan Black. I don't know if it's just because people don't know how to build her. I don't know if it's just because they can't use her support card, but haven't seen too much with actual winning records with Kitasan Black against my opponents. But overall, very, very solid. Obviously, a legendary trainer here. Let's see who else we have here other than Rose. We got Wii! Alright. So with Wii, we also have another very similar looking team. Kitasan Black here as well. Take a look. Not seeing groundwork on this one here, which is kind of odd. Did the other one have groundwork? I don't quite remember. Another gold ship here. Surprised their power isn't a little bit higher than it really should be, because it's very easy to hit double S's or double S plus on all three of those. Pretty solid skills overall, though. And then another Tamamo Cross. Very solid horse. Definitely way too dumb, though, so we'll see how they fare against everything. Got that Shadow Break and Superior. That's very interesting. Okay. Ramp up, Tail 9, Straightaway Spurt. No Umastan. But overall, we do have, obviously, we have some pretty solid folks to run against. So, overall predictions, God, I hope I win. I'd love to be able to actually crown a Naruto Taishin as a CM winner. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Got a long race ahead of us, 3,200 meters in wet, soggy conditions. But here we go. Number 4 favorite. Obviously, it looks like Rose is probably taking up... Oh no, we actually breaks it up there. But we got number 4 there. Hopefully, we just hit all of our skills at the right time. We're able to push on through to the end. Pisces Cup Finals. Longest one we've had. This is going to be a long race. Here we go. Triple Crown. Triple Crown. Triple Crown. Alright, lucky number 7. Here we go. Obviously, we don't care too much with the late starts. And of course, we get a double late start. It is how it is. Let's see if we can proc some Uma. Alright, we got 2 Uma stands out from that. Naruta's actually sitting in a pretty decent position there with number 4. Normally, if she hits 4th or 3rd around the last corner entering into the final straight, she does pretty good, so hopefully she can keep her spot there. Obviously, the Kitasans are doing their front-runner Kitazan things. Procking a Professor of Curvature early, that's actually pretty good, but obviously we get a little bit of a rush. If we're lucky, we might be able to proc it again on the final corner just because of the amount of time in between procking those skills. It can actually happen twice, and I've seen it happen quite a bit. Alrighty. Heading out in the middle of the pack, that's actually pretty decent for where we want to be starting off here. Not proccing our recovery skills too early, we are able to get 2 straightaways as well here. Not seeing too much proc from Tamamo Cross here. Would love to see a little bit more from her. Solid velocity skill from Kitazan Black. And we're about halfway through here. Pretty par for the course as far as other things go. Hitting them corners once again. Alright, there's... Oh, we got the procs for our 2 recoveries right there. That's actually a pretty solid placement overall. Some more Professor of Curvatures going. Haven't hit our second recovery yet for Naruto Taishin. Straightaway add up here. Alright. There's straightaway spurt and the encroaching shadow starting to proc. Another straightaway spurt. Nimble naps, that's a pretty solid spot for that. Alright, we're going around, I believe, the final corner here. Here we go. Alright, we're proccing Naruto Taishin. That's actually pretty solid. Whenever she gets that proc off, that's always a really good sign. My fists are only just a little bit clenched here. Hopefully she can get it. Alright, Radiant Star and Nemesis at the same time. That's pretty solid. And she hits... Oh, she hits both of them there. That's actually really solid. This should help propel her right into the final end here. Straightaway add up. Catch up to her. Yes. Alright, we're dueling for first place. She's in first place. Hopefully she can keep hold of it. Can she do it? Yes! We got her first, finally. Oh, that is... I am so happy to see that. Oh, this was a lot of work. I pretty much spent all of the time for Track Blazer just building for this CM, not even worrying about my Team Trials Umas. I could actually finally focus on something else. Yeah, baby, first place. Oh, you love to see it. Alright, how did we do overall? So that was Rose's gold ship at the end. 1 1/4 length. Total time of race, 3:13.1. That was a long race. Overall, everyone did pretty good. We was able to make a podium in 3rd, so good job overall to both Rose and we. Pretty solid. Tamamo didn't really proc all that much, unfortunately, so stuck in last place. As well as my Goldshi, also sitting pretty far in last place here, but GG's to both of my opponents. This was a really, really tough battle here. Oh, I'm so relieved with that, and overall, pretty happy. That win rate, all the way up here, unprecedented event. Naruto Taishin achieves the incredible. So glad that we got Naruto in first place. 3rd time's the charm, finally. Alright, so now it's come up to obviously looking forward to the next one, which apparently is going to be Christmas Ogre or Bust. I'll probably be making a Christmas Ogre, to be honest with you. I did pull for her specifically, and I believe this is going to be the upcoming Champions meeting is definitely going to be the first one where she can truly shine out there, and it's just going to be a whole bunch of Christmas Ogres. Probably going to see a whole bunch of Dominators, and maybe some front runners also trying to propel to the front, but it's definitely going to be, once again, like this one, we're going to see, I think, a lot of the similar types of horses overall. But pretty happy about that win. Victory or death. Morning. Hip hip moon. No worries. And to everyone else, good night. Thanks a lot. Catch you in the next one.